In this lecture, you will learn about subnetting and we will deal with some of the basic experiments related to subnetting. First, I will let you know what is this subnetting and what's the role of subnet mask. So basically, if you relate all the things with class C IP address, so previously what you have seen is that 192.168.10 dot some host number you are using for different end devices as an IP version 4 address. Okay. So what we will do, like in place of like writing this as a network address, we will divide this network 192.168.10.0. This is one network. Okay. If I'm writing this one as a network address and my subnet mask as a 255.255.255.0, which is default subnet mask. This is your subnet mask. Okay. If I'm writing my IP address in this way, means this is my network ID, and this network ID you can't give to any host. Okay, this is like a identification of your network only. Like if your host number is 19 host IP version 4 address is 192.168.10.4, then that host is belonging to 192.168.10.0 network ID. So basically, if you are dealing with this network, you can write this network and subnet mask in another way also, which is 192.168.10.0/24. Okay, so 192.168.10.0 is your network ID, and /24 means there are 24 number of ones. This is 81, this is 81, this is 81. Okay, so 8 plus 8 plus 8, that is 24. Okay. And rest 8 are zeros. So basically what we will do in this lab session, that like we will do subnetting. Subnetting is required because including class A, class B, class C, class D, all IP addresses, we have some fixed numbers. Okay, but rapidly what is happening in like practical scenario, the end devices is increasing day by day, and when they are increasing day by day, so for like perfection of allocation of addresses to those end devices, first we have divided our end devices IP address into two categories. One is private IP address, one is public IP addresses. And in private IP addresses also, we have like if I'm like utilizing this 192.168.10 in my private network, and in case like there is no that much amount of end devices, that like in this one like 254 host or end devices I can connect. But suppose you have only 10 end devices, so basically you are wasting all other addresses. Okay, so if you want to utilize it in a proper manner, okay, so there is a need of like subnetting also. And this subnetting is nothing but like in an institute or in an organization, if you want to use like 5 or 6 different network IDs, so in place of using that different network IDs, you can basically use this subnetting thing. Okay, so like there is a proper utilization of these IP4 version addresses, and you need not to waste some addresses. Okay, so like we will see like how we are doing this thing. So first we will see the subnet masking. So basically by default, like default subnet mask, you are using it as 255.255.255.0 for class C. This is for class C. Okay, so 255 means there are 8 number of ones. Okay, and there are 8 number of zeros. So if you convert this binary number into a decimal part, you will see that this is the addition of this one is 255. So like if I take 8 ones, okay, this is basically 2 to the power 0, this is 2 to the power 1, 2 to the power 2, 2 to the power 3, 2 to the power 4, 2 to the power 5, and 2 to the power 6, 2 to the power 7. 2 to the power 7 is nothing but 128. This is 64. This is 32. This is 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay. So this is basically like I'm explaining this 8, 1, 4. Okay. And if you add up 128 plus 64 plus 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1, you will get this 255. Okay. So that's why when all ones are there, I'm writing this as a 255. Okay. So after this, like we can divide our um, IP addresses, like I'm using 192.168.10. Okay, this if I'm using this network. Okay, so basically I am having this first address, which is 192.168.10.0, and this last address, which is 192.168.10.255. Okay, and this first address we are calling it as a network ID, and this last address is nothing but broadcast ID. So this is the scenario when you are using /24 notation, means 255.255.255.0. What will happen if you use /25 notation? Okay, so /25 means basically you are using 255.255.255.128. Okay, this 120 is nothing but 1 then 7 zeros. Okay, if you convert it into binary. Okay, so what you have done, you have all ones at these places. Okay, and you have incorporated one new one. Okay, this one, and due to this 0 will be converted into 128, and since now there are total number of ones, that is 25, that's why we are writing this one as a /25 notation. Okay, so if you are doing this type of thing and you are writing your subnet mask as a 255.255.255.128, means you are dividing your full addresses into two parts. Okay, two parts means here previously 254 number of hosts, useful hosts are there, and 256 total number of IDs are there, including broadcast and network. Now what will happen, total number of IDs will be 128 in this side also and 128 in this side also, and the useful hosts are 126. Okay, 126 because I am subtracting 128 minus 1, that is network ID, another one that is broadcast ID. If I am doing in this way, so but basically what will happen, this will be my network ID for this first case, okay, or first half. Okay, and my broadcast ID will become 192.168.10.127. Okay, and for the second half, my network ID will become 192.168.10.128, and my broadcast ID will become 192.168.10.255. In this way, basically I am dividing my full network of 192.168.10.0 into two parts. One is this one, another one is this one. Okay, so this is basically what I am doing for division of my full 256 number of IP addresses into two parts. If you want to divide your full pie chart of full IP addresses into four equal parts, okay, if I want to divide into four equal parts, then what you need to do, you need to substitute one more one in that um, subnet masking. So basically your subnet masking will become 8 ones, then again 8 ones, then again 8 ones, then you are dividing into four parts, means two ones and rest zeros. Okay, in previous case I am giving only one in this place, at this place, and now I am giving 2 1. Okay, so basically like if you want to divide your full pie chart, if I explain it with the help of pie chart, if you want to divide your full pie chart into number of clusters, so basically your formula will become like total number of host whatever available, like this is class C, so that's why 256 I am talking about, x equal to 256 for class C, then 2 to the power number of 1, that is in this case 2 to the power n, in this case n equal to 2 extra 1 you have given. Okay, and this one is by default, this 24 ones are by default. And if you are doing in this way, so basically your notation is /26. Okay, so we have seen /24 notation, that is by default. /25 means we are dividing our pie chart into two parts. /26 means we are dividing our pie chart into four parts. Okay, in similar manner, if I talk about all the division of class C, so basically if you talk about subnet, mask, and if you write in /24 notation, then your host will be 256, including broadcast and a network ID. Okay, so and useful number of host will be, or valid host will be 254. Okay, and your subnet will be in one partition. Okay, single partition subnet will be there. If you want to divide into two partition, basically you need to write in the form of /25, and your number of hosts in one cluster will be 128. And this is your partition in two clusters, okay, or two subnets. If you want to like divide into four clusters, so basically you need to use /26 notation, and if you are using, you will get 64 number of host in one cluster. Okay, so in a similar manner, if I use 8, then I will get 32, and my notation will become 27. If my notation will become 28, then I will get 16, and this will be my 16 clusters. And if I'm writing 29, then I am getting 8 number of hosts per cluster, and I am having total 32 clusters. And if I write 30/30 notation, then a number of hosts become 4 per cluster, and total clusters I can form 64/31. Then in /31 I can have 2 hosts per cluster, and total number of cluster I can design 128 cluster. And if I write /32, which is the maximum one, and number of hosts will become 1 per cluster, and 256 number of clusters I can form. Okay, and these clusters are basically behaving like a different network address. Okay, so whenever we are using different network, assigning different networks to different end devices in a single LAN system, so basically they can't be able to communicate with each other. These things we have already seen in previous cases if I am not using any router. Okay, so basically in this today's lab, what we will do, we will realize what is happening, like if I am giving these IP addresses by creating one subnet. Okay, what will happen in that case, how my computer will react, or my end devices will react, and we will realize all those things. So what we will do, we will take one switch. Okay, and with that switch we will connect 3 and 6 end devices. Okay, 1 2 3 and 4 5 6. Okay, and we will give IP addresses of like of class C with the same network, but they are having different subnet. That's why they will basically like virtually they are in different network. So like this is PC number 1 2 3, and this is 4 5 6. And suppose I am again dividing one as a marketing team. This is marketing team, and this one is a sales team, what we have done in our previous class. So what I am doing is, like for first PC, I will define 192.168.10.1. Okay, and my notation will become /25. Basically, I'm dividing this 192.168.10 into two parts. Okay, two network. Second PC, I will take 192.168.10.2. Okay, this is also in 25 notation. Third PC will become 192.168.10.3 and /25 notation. And this fourth PC I will take as 192. Now see, like I'm dividing this one 192.168.10 into two parts. So basically, what will happen for this case, my network ID will become 192.168.10.0. Okay, my subnet mask will become 255.255.255.128. Okay, and my broadcast ID my broadcast ID will become 192.168.10.127. Okay, and if I write the IP address of computer 4 as 192.168.10.129 and computer 5 192.168.10.130, and this is 6 is 192.168.10.131. Then, and all these things are in /25 notation, means we are doing subnetting. So in this case, we are doing like my network ID will become 192.168.10.128, and my subnet mask will become 255.255.255.128, and my broadcast ID will become 192.168.10.255. Okay, so this is the case where I am dividing my pie chart into two sections or two clusters, and this cluster is the red cluster and this one is like this cluster. Okay, so this one is first cluster, or this one is first cluster, this one is second cluster, or you can say this one is first cluster and this one is second cluster, whatever you want. Okay, so in this way, what I'm going to design my network in a packet tracer, and we will realize like what will happen if I create my network in this way. Okay. So my first task is I need one switch. Second task, I need 6 PCs. Okay, so now I have 6 PCs. Okay, these 6 PCs and this switch. Now what I need to do, I need to connect these PCs devices with our switch. So I will take one straight through cable and connect all the cables to my fast Ethernet ports of this switch. Now I can wait for 20 seconds or I can fast forward it. Okay. After this, I can assign IP address. So let's assign IP address like without any subnet masking. Without any subnet masking means I'm giving 192.168.10.1 for my first PC, and this one I am taking as a default subnet mask for like explaining the things without subnet mask, and this is 192.168.10.2. This is dot 3, and this fourth computer I have taken as dot 129. This fifth computer is dot 130, and sixth computer is 131. Okay, so I have given IP addresses of network ID 192.168.10.0, and my slash notation or subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, which is default subnet mask /24. And in this case, what will happen is like I can communicate. This is one general network which you have seen like first lab also. So in this network, I can communicate between all my devices. So if I want to send packet from PC1 to PC6, that will be successful. And if I want to send PC2 to PC4, that will be successful. If I want to send between PC4 and PC5, that will be successful. Everything will be successful. Whatever I can do will be successful in this case. because all the things under this switch are in one network. Okay, and by default they are in virtual LAN 1 configuration, so they can communicate. There is no problem with that one. But suppose now what I want to assign this one, these three PCs as a marketing department, and these three PCs are the sales department. Okay. So if I want to assign in this way, like these three PCs and these three PCs will be entirely different from each other, and they belong to one marketing department. So I will write here that this is marketing department, and this second one is my sales department. And if I want to do this thing, like the first thing is I need to give different network to network IP version 4 addresses to these three, PC1, PC2 and PC3, and one different network address to these PCs. So one way is like you have already seen that I can assign this number to a different number, and they will be in a different network. Okay. Another thing, what we will do today is we will not change the basic or a root network, and we will divide that one into various subnets. So in this case, we will divide that 192.168.10 into two parts, two clusters. Okay. So for dividing it into a two cluster, basically we will go to IP configuration, and in place of this zero, what we will write? We will write 128. Okay, and if I am writing 128, it will take it. Okay, suppose if you want to write 129, okay, it will not take, it will show an error. Okay, invalid subnet address, enter. Okay, so basically valid subnet is like from the left hand side you need to substitute 1 in place of zeros in binary. Okay, so when I am substituting only 1, and if I convert 1 and 70 into decimal, it's 128. Okay, so the valid number is 128. If you are substituting like two number of ones from the left hand side, that is 128 plus 64 in that case. Okay, and if you are doing that one, that will be 192. So this is PC number one, that is 192.168.10.1. So if you are changing this default mask, so either you can like cluster the whole pie chart into four parts. If you are doing, you need to write 192 and it will take. Okay. Otherwise, like in this case, I am dividing my cluster into two parts. So that's why I am writing 128. Okay. And if you are not writing any valid number here, it will show an error. Okay. So what I need to do, I need to give this slash 25 notation to all the PCs to categorize into two parts. So I'm going to all the PCs now and giving 128 at the end part of my subnet mask. So now what I have done, I did is I have divided my full pie chart of 192.168.10 into two parts. Okay, two parts means one having the network ID of 192.168.10.0, another having network ID of 192.168.10.128. Okay, that's why this number, this PC4 number is 1929, because 128 is your network address. Okay. And for 2.255 is the broadcast ID for your sales case, and for marketing case the broadcast ID is .127. Okay. So now we will realize whole thing, like whether it is this system is working or not. Okay. So now we will try to send packet from PC1 to this PC6, and we will see it will fail. Like if I send this one, and this packet will go into a failure mode. Okay. This is happening because we have created two subnet masks. Okay. So if I'm creating two clusters, so this cluster is itself different, and this cluster is working as a different entity, and they can't be able to communicate to each other. Okay. So one more thing is there, like we need to analyze like what's happening in case of broadcast kind of thing. So if I go to PC number 6 and in command prompt, if I write broadcast for this cluster, PC number 4, PC number 5, and PC number 6, the broadcast ID will be 192.168.10.255. So there is one echo request generated. That echo request is basically a broadcast echo request. Okay, so this echo request will go to this switch, and it will forward this to all other connections to that switch, and that switch is basically doing forwarding of that broadcast ICMP to all other uh, ports, because they all are connected with VLAN number 1. Okay, so that request will go to switch, and that switch will forward it to all the computers, and the marketing department, they will reject that echo request. They will not reply to that one, because that broadcast is 192.168.10.255. But for marketing department, your broadcast is 192.168.10.127, not 255. Okay, so that's why they are discarding your echo request. PC1, PC2, and PC3, PC4 and PC5 belonging to that cluster. So what they will do, they will reply to that echo request. Okay, so if you click next, you will see that they are replying on that echo request, and finally your reply is reaching to your PC number 6. Okay, so this is the case happening in this scenario. And if you realize you can communicate between sales department. Okay, you can send any packet in sales department, you can communicate in marketing department also. Okay, so if you try, you can communicate in my marketing department in a successful manner. But if you try, you can't be able to communicate from sales to marketing or marketing to sales. Okay, it will fail. Okay, they all are there in VLAN 1, and that's why, like, whatever I am doing in broadcast domain, that will go into all the ports connected to that switch. Okay, and this is basically a demerit. If I want marketing and sales department as a separate department, and if I don't want their end devices will communicate with each other, means if you have connected printer in the sales department, marketing department can't be able to print with that printer. Okay, and that type of confusion, you can't share information. Okay, within the two department. If I want that type of configuration, what I will do, like, the first thing is I need to create virtual network. Okay, for marketing department separately and sales department separately, the same thing we have done in previous lab also. The main advantage of doing subnet is we need not to remember other network address also. Okay, whatever we will design with a single network address, that is 192.168.10. Okay, and like the disadvantage of not creating a VLAN is, like, whenever they broadcast anything, suppose PC1, if it is broadcasting something, suppose I'm doing ping 192.168.10. Okay, now for PC1, my broadcast ID is basically 127, not 255. Okay, we can check for 255 also. Like, if I do this dot 55, that echo request will generate from PC1 and discard it at PC1 itself. Okay, we can see that thing also. Like, we will go to simulation mode, and we will press enter. Okay, so you are seeing that ICMP echo request packet is generating at PC1 and discarding there only. Okay, so it is not actually forwarding that broadcast to that switch. Okay, so this is your ideal state will come into picture. Now if I do ping of like uh, it's a broadcast. If I want to do broadcast in marketing department, basically I need to ping 192.168.10.127 because for that cluster the last IP address is .127. Okay, and if I do analyze this packet, okay, so this is one echo request, broadcast request generated by PC1, and this will go to switch, and switch will flood that echo request over the entire network connected with it. Okay, and the sales department, because they are not belonging to that broadcast packet, so they are basically discarding that packet, and PC2 and PC3 will reply to that packet. Okay, since PC3 didn't have any MAC information of PC1 and PC1 didn't have MAC information of PC3, that's why they are first sharing ARP, and they are first sharing their MAC address with each other, and then my ICMP will be like returned to PC1 by PC3. So in this way, like if you can check also, like there will be in this command prompt, you can see there will be there is no loss. There is no loss because whatever number of packets you are sending, you are receiving all those things from your network contact. Okay. But like if I talk about a very large network, so basically if in a large network you will do this type of configuration, so the problem arises when a number of broadcast things will increase rapidly. Okay, so those echo requests and the packet generated by the broadcast thing will consume your channel capacity, and there might be some incidences where your network or ISP internet speed will get decreased because you are already using your channel speed for broadcasting thing. Okay, so for utilizing it properly, we need to create a VLAN in addition to this subnet uh, subnetting. So for explaining that VLAN part, I will go to that previous lab. So this is the virtual network you have created in the previous lab. So in place of writing these network different network addresses, what I will do, I will deal with a single network this time. Okay. So for marketing depart, there are three departments. So I have taught you like either you can create one cluster, full cluster. Either you can divide that one into two subnets, means two clusters. Either you can divide that one into 4, 8, 16, and so on. So basically I have three things. Okay, so there are three things, three departments. Basically one is marketing department, sales department, and quality check department. And in the previous lecture I explained you that this is your building number 1, in which is at 6th floor my marketing department is there, and at 4th floor sales department is there. And this is another building, dedicated building for quality check, where all the machineries are there, are related to quality check performance. And basically two end devices are there, and they are reporting to each other regarding the quality of product whatever you are making in that factory. And one dedicated sales department and dedicated marketing department and devices we have like placed in that second building. Okay, so that like things can be easier whenever like between two buildings, if marketing and sales department want to communicate, Okay, so we have designed our system in this way, and we have created virtual networks also. So we have created virtual LAN, that is 11 for this marketing department, 12 for the sales department, and 13 for quality check department. But in previous lab, we have given different network addresses. So in this lab, what we will do, we will divide the full pie chart of 192.168.10 into four parts, and we will give one part to marketing, one part to sales department, one part to quality check department, and one part we will keep it as a reserve. If in case other department will open in future, we will give that cluster to that department. Okay, so I'm dividing into four clusters. So my first set one is 192.168.10.1 for marketing, 192.168.10.2 for second end devices marketing, and 10.3, and one more 192.168.10.4. Okay, for the second building. Okay. And the second set, which is sales department, also I'm taking 10. But in this case, basically I'm dividing into four parts. Okay. So if I am dividing into four parts, that will be, this one will be 32. Okay. Because for the first part, it's going to from 0 to 31. Okay. So if I explain this part here, so basically what happening is, like, in this case, basically you are dividing your network 192.168.10.0 into four parts. Okay, 1, 2, 3, and 4. This first part network ID is 192.168.10.0, and this one is, if you are dividing into four parts, and each cluster is having total number of IP addresses, which is 64. Okay, so this is 192.168.10.63. Okay, and this is 192.168.10.64. Okay, so dot 64 is basically the network address for your second cluster. Okay, and if you like write all the network addresses, so what we are doing is we are adding this 0 plus 64. So if I do 64 plus 64 again, that will be 128. Okay, so means here the network address is 192.168.10.128. Okay, and if I add 164 again, that will be become 192. So this is 192.168.10.192. So these are the network addresses. Now I'm going to broadcast status. So either I can subtract one from these network addresses for getting the broadcast address of previous cluster, or I can add 64 in that 63. Okay, so if I add 64 plus 63, I will get 127. So this is basically 192.168.10.127. Okay, and this one will be 192.168.10.191, and this final will be 192.168.10.255. So I'm dividing my cluster in this way, and I want this one as marketing, this one as a sales, and this one as a quality check. Okay, so like I am doing the subnetting portion in this way. Okay, so here I can see that 64 is my network address, so I need to write from 65 my valid host. So I will go here, and this one will become 65. and second one will become dot 10 dot 66. This will become dot 10 dot 67. Okay, and this one more PC is there, which will become 192.168.10.68. Okay, so after this I will define for quality check. So quality check, like this one, you can see that this is 128. So my valid will start from 129. Okay, so I will give from 129. So let's say this is dot 10 dot 129. This is also 129, and this is dot. Since okay, I'm dividing this one into four clusters. This will be dot slash 26 in place of slash 25. This will be slash 26. Slash 25 means I am dividing into two parts. Okay, so if I am using slash 26, so basically I need 128 plus 64. Okay, that is 192. So again, I will go to this PC number one and give 192 here. Similarly, for this PC2, this is 192. Okay, and I will give these addresses to sales department. Okay, one more address is there for marketing department. This PC. Now I will give all the IP addresses to sales department. So I will start from PC number 4. So I'm giving IP address and slash notation 192. Then PC number 5, 66, 192. This is 67 and 192. And one more sales department PC is there in that second building. So that is 68 and again 192. And now I'm defining all the things to this quality check department. So I will go to this first PC of quality check and I will assign it 192.168.129 and this will be 192. Second one I will assign 130. And that is 192. One is 190, 129, and then is 130. Okay, so now what we have did is we have assigned an IP address of like 192.168.10.0 network address, but virtually we have divided our network into four clusters. One cluster is there for marketing department, another cluster is there for sales department, and third cluster is there for quality check department. Okay, so whatever we are doing in the previous lab that we don't want any communication between marketing, sales, and quality check department, we can do the same thing here also. Okay, because we have seen that like we have created two virtual lines, so virtual line 11 and virtual line number 12 for this marketing and sales, and virtual line number 10, number 13 for this quality check department. Okay, and we have defined access ports also to these PCs connections to that switch, and we have defined the trunk port also between these switches in our previous lab. So all the things will remain as it is. And now if I do broadcast thing, like if I open on this PC1. Okay, and if I write a ping 192.168.10. Now for this first cluster, see here my broadcast is dot 63 at the end. Okay, so I need to write dot 63, not dot 255. Okay, that is important. So if I go to simulation mode and if I press enter, so basically what is happening that PC1 is creating one ICMP echo request, and that echo request will go to this switch, and this switch will create a copy for PC2 and PC3 only. Okay, because we have categorized marketing and sales department into two virtual LANs. Virtual LANs means one virtual LAN will be in one network. Okay, so if I will send broadcast in virtual LAN number 11, it will go to virtual LAN number 11 itself. Okay, so if I press this next, so you can see that this is going to virtual LAN number 11 here, and one more virtual LAN number means same category PC is there, marketing department. So it will go to this switch, and this switch also forward this echo request to this proper marketing department only. Okay, so this broadcast will go to all the PCs or all the end devices of marketing department, and they will react. Okay, and they will react back, and after completion of this ARP sharing of MAC information with each other with PC number one, basically they will reply that ICMP request to PC1, and when PC1 will get all the things, all the reply of that echoes, and it will send 4 packets, and for those 4 packets you will get all those replies. Okay, and at the end you will see that 100% link reliability is 100%. Okay, so in at the starting, like it is 8 millisecond, 9 millisecond, and 12 millisecond, because those three PCs, PC number 2, PC number 3 in this building, and PC number uh, one more PC in another building, they don't having the information, MAC address information. That's why previous in the starting they are sharing ARP with each other. That's why that's millisecond is large. Like time taken for reply is large. Then the time taken for reply is very less, and there is 0% loss, 100% link reliability is there. Okay, so in this way, if you do if you check for sales also, like if I broadcast, if I want to broadcast from here, and my sales department is this one, okay, second cluster, and broadcast is 127. So if I ping 192.168.10.127 and in simulation mode for realization. Okay, so this PC sales department PC is generating echo request. That echo request will go to that switch, and since there is no other sales department PC or same virtual LAN PC in under the switch 2, that or and this switch 2 will forward that to switch 1. Okay, broadcasting, and there are 3 PCs in sales department, so those 3 PCs will get those packets, and since they don't have their PC, this PC is not having any MAC address information of these 3 PCs, so first they will share ARP. Okay, and after sharing ARP they will get all the replies of those echo. Okay, so if you are doing it second time, the same broadcast, or like I already told you, like whenever you are communicating between two end devices for the first time, always there will be ARP generation. Okay, so if I do it one more time with the same broadcasting, okay, if I write one more time the same broadcast, okay, it will generate an echo request, and now in this case, because already all the informations MAC address information of PC4, PC5, PC6 is there with PC10, it will not generate any ARP in this case. Okay, so it will directly, the PC4, PC5, PC6 will directly reply to that RECO request, and PC10 will get all the RECO requests one by one. So in this way, you can realize like full reliability of link is there. And in today's lab, basically you have incorporated two things in this experiment. One is you have uh, given virtual LAN numbers to different department according to your need. And second thing is you have used only one network. Okay, and that network you have created, you have categorized into four cluster or four subnets, and for the out of four subnets, three subnets you have used for those three departments. And when you are doing broadcast kind of thing, so you can check the security thing also. Like in broadcast also, if you are doing broadcast in marketing department, it will not affect sales department. Okay, so in any case it is not affecting internet. If you are connecting your whole LAN system to ISP, it is not affecting your internet speed or communication speed. Okay, so they all are identical, and the thing cost, security and broadcast control thing will be there. Okay, and in addition to these things, these things we can we can realize the effective utilization of IP addresses also using subnet masking. So this is the end of today's lecture.